Mike Rizzitello. Mike, how was it playing left field back on Tuesday?
It was definitely a change of pace. Took me an inning or two to settle back in there. I haven't been out there in a while, but it was definitely a good change. You know, I had a lot of fun.
So go back in the far reaches of your memory. When was the last time not only you had played left field, but any outfield position for that matter?
I played about like 6 or 7 games last year out in left and right. So and I've been like kind of back and forth out there all the way back since high school. So I mean, it's nothing that's really new, but it's something that, you know, I haven't done enough to really like settle into, you know. So I mean, it was familiar.
So what's the biggest adjustment going back out there? What's the thing you kind of need to remind yourself in order to have success playing the outfield?
I think the biggest thing that a couple of guys even told me is kind of slowing down a little bit, like taking that first step to kind of read the ball and then go to it, and not like, I think there's a couple balls that were way out of play that I was really hustling for. I wanted to catch everything, but I think maybe slowing it down a little bit out there.
And one thing you also had to deal with was, you know, some people say they play in the outfield for them a little bit too boring, a little bit too slow. It wasn't that the game was slow or anything, but it ended up being 4 hours, 15 minutes, a 13-11 contest. How did you try and keep yourself engaged out there when normally behind the plate you got to be focused every single pitch?
Yeah, it's two totally different positions. Like, I was actually thinking about Brant back there, and like, man, you know, I'm struggling out here just standing around, you know, which is more tiring than you think. But then I'm thinking about Brant blocking balls, catching balls, throwing balls back to whatever, and I'm like, you know, it's two different kinds of tired, you know, like a tired where you're kind of just sitting around, and a tired where it's like, man, I could really use a break.
And then also at the plate that game, a little oddity that happened in the 5-run 7th inning, you lined out to open the frame, then came up again and lined out again to end the inning on a nice play by the third baseman. You know, you're hitting the ball well, and that, had you ever, A, made 2 outs in 1 inning, or B, had back-to-back at-bats end like that?
I'm sure I have. I mean, I'm sure I've made 2 outs in 1 inning. Probably more than I can count. But lining out like that seems like the story of the year, man. So I'm just trying to stay locked in every pitch and trying not to let the things that are out of my control really bother me.
And one of the tough things with playing outfield, you got a little bit more time on your hands. How did you kind of block out, you know, probably a little bit of frustration of, man, I wish that ball had gotten through or anything like that? How did you block that out in the outfield and stay focused on the game at hand?
I think being a new position this year anyway, or for a while, helped out because I was really trying to focus on the task at hand. So, I mean, that maybe even helped me on why I found so many barrels that night, just because had my mind set on something else, and it kind of took the attention away from the fact that I can't find a hole.
So now that you have a little bit of a different perspective playing the game from the outfield now going back behind the plate tonight for the game against Normal, is there anything kind of different on your mind or a different way that you might approach?
I just think it feels like home. You know, I'm glad to be back there, you know.
Well, the Otters are definitely happy to have you back behind the plate. You've been throwing runners out at a really great clip this season. I think the Otters as a team are throwing runners out at like a second or third best rate in the league. What do you think's been leading to that much success gunning runners out?
Just trying to get rid of it as quick as I can. You know, as soon as it hits the glove, get it out. You know, there's been guys who have gotten pretty big jumps too. The same thing. I'm just trying to get it as quick as I can out of my glove.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck tonight against Normal.
Thank you, Sam.